What's going on, guys? George, Going Bracket Racing YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us on another episode. This is episode 8 of the Winter Series. If anybody's counting, I don't think anybody's actually counting. Casey, what's going on, brother?
Not a whole lot, man. Just getting ready to, you know what's cool? You know what's cool that I just now thought of after looking out? It's actually sunny outside right now. Finally, the sun's actually staying out for us for a decent amount of time throughout the day. We got a little bit of Motor Mania to watch this weekend, George.
That's a good point. That's a good point. This is that CP's race? I believe that's CP's race,
I
man. I
believe
wish I
so.
was able to get down there. I'm not ready to go yet, is the only thing. And so I won't be traveling to good old Louisiana to eat some crawfish. It definitely sounds real good right about now.
I had
But
some of that about 2, 3 days ago. Wasn't too bad.
Good stuff, man. Especially the spicy one. I love spicy. So me and Louisiana could probably be great friends when it comes to food. There, everything tastes good there, as far as from what I've heard. I've never actually been. Have you ever been to Louisiana? I think you have, hadn't you?
Man, I've been everywhere. You know that. I did all that traveling on the road for work for about 8 or 9 years. So yes, I've been everywhere. I've been to Alaska in January, and I've been to Key West in July. I've been everywhere. So
Right.
yes.
I thought so. We got everybody tuning in over here. I see Will Newman. What's up, Will? Hey, man, we need to get back together sometime soon. I was telling Casey maybe we need to plan a trip just to get out of the country. Hey, maybe we can just bring all of GBR, Casey. What do you think, dude? Just get a list together, throw it on GBR, and say, let's go to a resort and have some fun. See how many people actually show up. That'd be pretty
It'd be
fun. I don't know
quite the
what you
party.
think. It'd be a party, wouldn't it? It would be pretty fun. Uh, Fixing used race cars. Crawfish is the best. I agree. I see Champ in here. What's going on? I see Troy coming in. What's going on, man? I think we got a good topic today. What do you think, Casey?
Yeah, man. I just randomly had this cross my mind a little bit earlier today, where people are always talking down about old cars and stuff like that, man. And I've had my fair share of good buys and bad buys throughout the years. But at the end of the day, man, at some point, wasn't every car brand new? Which would mean at some point every car can only really be so bad. And if you think certain things are bad, cut the bad part out and put new stuff in it. So my idea was the actual question that I put up on the Facebook page was, given the option, would you buy an older drag car that needs work for half the price, or do you want to buy a brand new ready to run type car? What would be your opinion on something like that? Because I noticed you didn't chime in.
Yeah, and I don't know why I didn't chime in. I was sitting there reading all the comments and actually enjoying the conversation there. I myself, I'm like most of the people here at the Going Bracket Racing YouTube channel, if I could say so. Um, I'm gonna buy old and turn it to new. One guy mentioned kind of how I feel about things that, I'll by the time you get done changing everything on it, it's gonna be to make it your own. It's going to practically be new in the first place, right? So, the way I see it is, I do like the feel of some of the older built cars. Not that, um, especially door cars. Both of us own door cars, right? But not that the newer cars just built substantially better. I think some of the older cars are pretty well put together, pretty good from a chassis standpoint in the first place.
Right.
So, I mean, I know that a lot of people still build these door cars and things of that nature, but man, there's a lot of good things that are out there. For instance, my door truck, 1990, actually, sorry, 89 S10, and I think it's put together pretty good. I hadn't changed a thing on it. Thing runs dead on just about every time, so I don't I don't see anything wrong buying old. Where are you at with it?
Man, the like I said, I've been on both sides of the coin. A lot of times, I mean, you can bury stuff in cars every once in a while that people won't notice till they really get into it and find one thing and one thing and one thing. But at the same time, here's the bottom line, George. It's just like anything that you do in life. If you get in something right, you're always in it right, because typically prices don't really go that far down. So if you can find something right place, right time type of scenario and get in something for, like, if you could get in a really nice back half door car for maybe like, 10 or 15, depending on what type of car it is. I mean, say 66, 67 Chevy 2s right now, if you found a roller like that for say $15,000 and it was in good shape, I mean, that thing's a steal because you get that thing running, it's going to sell for 35 all day long because it's one of the most desirable race cars out there.
That's correct. But and again, but how often are we seeing these cars built? Is another thing I go to.
There's only so
Um,
many.
there is, and it's not like people are still building your Novas, your old school Novas, your Chevelles. I mean, I know you guys, Casey, have built two nice looking Chevelles, and I think Botzel's got one you guys are working on, if I saw that correctly. So
Yep.
there's not a lot of old cars being built all the time. Most of the time, it's the newer type of cars, or it's a dragster. So I don't know. That's kind of my thought process. I do like the old school feel of things. As we got Brian Jenin, he's tuning in from the Pacific Northwest. He says he still has 2 months to wait for race season. Hey, welcome in the show, man, and hopefully we don't make you itch too bad to get back behind the wheel. I think I'm 2 weeks away from go time. If I counted that right, I see Kevin Oid in the house. I know he's at least 2 weeks. I wonder is he heading down to Louisiana right now? But sorry to get off subject. Anyway, keep going.
So there's one thing for certain that old Kev's going to hit up, and I'm sure that's Paige Hamlin's race. And by the way, guys, little inside drag racing over here. Paige Hamlin's going to be on the show next week. She's going to tell us all about that 6-shooter. What is it? Is it called 6-shooter shootout? Is 6-shooter similar to like Loose Rocker, the name of the series, or how does that work, George?
And right now, and I'm not going to answer very many questions. That way, you guys can tune in next week and get all those answers directly from the source. You don't have to have me guessing at things. You know what I mean? But so far, I think she's got one race going, just one right now. And right now, I'm just going to take the time, since we're on the subject, I'm going to slide that race in and let you guys get a look at this format, get a look at this race, and see what you think about it. But Paige Hamlin over at Hamlin Motorsports putting on what I would call a very decent, very, very decent race for the Texas area. You hardly ever see them this large. So Texas, stand up, show out, bring your cars. Let's go ahead and support our own promoter of the area here in Texas. Now I know CP comes down here and puts on some races too. You know what I mean? So taking nothing from anybody, but here's a race for you, 6-shooter. That 6-shooter shootout, it's 64 car shootout she's having in there. I want to say she opened up the entry to that thing, Casey. It may have sold out in 2 hours. So if you were thinking of,
man, where are you going to race 64 cars in a top ET race? 64 cars for $500 to win $20,000. And this is the thing, George. It's going to roll up on this screen here pretty soon. I don't see it right now. Maybe I do have it up right now. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No, I don't. But whenever it rolls across the screen, you'll see what a deal it is here, because I think they're still paying runner-up and semis to that race too.
They are, and they're going back. They're going back quite a ways, and of course, that's the one thing. There it is, right here. 64 car shootout, and 20,000 to the winner. 500 to enter. Sorry about that. 500 to enter it. I'm gonna slide us back in, Casey. Well, we're back on camera now, but 500 to enter the thing. 5,000 to runner up the thing. 1,000 to the semis, 500 to the quarters. Payout based on a full field. Well, it's full, and then I think there's like 15 alternates. So
it will be full.
Congratulations for the 64 car shootout being a huge success. Great job, guys. Who's coming? I seen Kevinoids in it. I seen Kendall's in it. I seen the Penningtons. I seen the Glitties. They're in it, man. They're in it. And Motor Mania is going to be streaming the whole thing. So shoot, you guys are going to get some stuff to watch then too in April. So
right.
It's going to be a heck of a race, man. If you guys are headed out there besides Kevinoid, leave something in the chat. Let us know you're headed, but you're headed there. But
yeah, we got so back on our original subject, we got Troy in here saying buying an older roller brought down the entry barrier once I had it. Then it's been easy to stay motivated and spread out the costs of getting it ready. Yeah, that's true, man. The basically the cool part about buying an older car is you can eventually make that car. Like for example, let's say you buy a 6.0 certifiable chromoly tube chassis car, whatever it is, some sort of door car. Because of the fact that, 6.0 cars, they change things year to year. You might need to add a bar here, but it's not building an entire car. It's literally welding a gusset in here or a bar in here at this angle and something like that, just to sturdy up the actual driver's cockpit area, because that's actually the only area they certify. They don't actually care about the rest of the car anyway, first of all, which is very weird to me. But but anyway, the point is that you could buy something that, for example, you could buy an old pro stock car, something that was a pro stock car in the early 2000s that hasn't been able to be in any class other than maybe comp or super gas. Guess what? Now you get all those titanium parts for pennies on the dollar. I mean, that's stuff that the average guy like us, we could never afford titanium parts. I mean, some of these things, they got titanium everywhere. They have them all throughout the rear end. They got wheelie bars. They got all this stuff. And you're talking, yeah, it's still going to be like $40,000 roller. But you got to think in terms of when that car was new, it was probably $200,000. So if you want to really get top of the line, high end stuff, that's the way you do it.
It's true. It's true. Why not though? You know, and get that type of car. If you got that type of money, if I had enough money to do it, do you think I'd have an old one or a new one? I kind of feel you guys asking me that question. I'd probably still have an older door car. I'm a fan of older hot rods. Number two, there was a guy outside just today. I was out there working on a truck, tinkering around, getting some spark plugs into the truck, and I meant to tell you, the guy's like, "Oh, you got a hot rod." I like that feeling. I like whenever somebody walks up on an older car and they're like, "Okay, I used to have one of those back in my time. That was my first car." Like your Nova, Casey. I bet you half the time you'll get a lot of people to show up on you and say, "Man, I used to drive one of those back and forth to school." You know what I mean? In high school. So I don't think I'm ever going to have a brand new Camaro or a car like that. I know I'm never going to own an S10, that's brand new, because what am I going to do in an S10 right now? You know what I mean? Nothing, right? So we got some things going on here. I see Brian Garrett in here. He says, "Do not buy a Mopar. Nothing is cheap." Yeah, that's the truth, man. And you just bought that. Was it a Demon or a Hellcat? I can't remember. I think it's a Demon. But dude, he's got that, and he's got his other Mopar sitting there. So that's the Mopar man right there.
Hey man, I was actually talking to Dylan Champion earlier. He said now he's going to have to put a transmission in his car because he's going through the woes of, he bought a car and his car is a good car, the car itself, but he upgraded the motor and now the motor kind of burnt the transmission out. Now he's going to upgrade that. But the thing is, once this is the point, he's raced it for what, 2 years now? Champ, put in the chat how many years you've had that car. But the point is, he bought the car, he's raced the car, he's made a lot of laps in the car, and slowly he's building it up into this thing that is going to be basically brand new. And now he didn't have to come out of pocket $40,000 all at once to build this car the way it is now.
Right. Right. We got David Statham in here too. Not to cut you off, right, because we're coming right back to that. But David Statham, I want to say David's he's in South Texas, right, somewhere a little bit further. But he's going to be up here at XRP for that race. David, man, hopefully we have enough spots, man. Let's park close as together as possible as GBR followers, and I'll have a handful of stickers with me too. I think I got about 500 of those. 250 for me, 250 for Casey. So I have 250. By the way, we're gonna have those on the webpage too. If you guys wanna have some, we're gonna accept donations for it, just to kind of put a little bit back into the Going Bracket Racing YouTube channel as best as we can. So we'll be posting that soon. I also got a pretty good amount of hats here too that I'll be posting up. So, look at that red GBR. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I got a good box down here. So we'll have some merchandise with us. But no, back to what you were saying, old champ. I feel for you, buddy, but the race car is going to be all the better for it, right?
Yeah. That's true, man. And we got, I can't let this slide here. We got George Hoff in here instigating with his Tesla comments over here. But he also says, yeah, I wouldn't order an S10 either, George. Yeah, I wouldn't order an S10.
I see that. Hey, George Hoff, you want to drive it? I think I done seen your name in quite a few finals, man. You can screw the seats if you want to. I know you said you might not own one, but I'm pretty sure you drive one, right?
Hey, just make sure you got those tree readers set up.
Right. Anyway, guys, we come up on that 15-minute mark. We're going to get some words from good old Mr. BRG himself. Hang in there. We'll be right back after these messages.
BRG Motorsports 3D printed racing parts are able to provide you with whatever you desire to enhance your drag racing operation. Items like safety belt magnets, nitrous bottle holders, and even quick release delay box mounts are able to be obtained from BRG Motorsports 3D printed racing parts. Have a look at top selling items such as helmet hooks and steering wheel hooks, which are proven to make it easier to maneuver throughout your race car. You can contact BRG Motorsports 3D printed racing parts at telephone number 765 729 1177.
Yeah. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I'm laughing coming in. I'm sorry. BRG, thank you for everything that you do for Going Bracket Racing and our followers. I know there's a lot of guys out there running BRG equipment. If you're not, head on over. I'm telling you, those seatbelt magnets save my back. You know how when it's real hot in Texas and your seatbelts are metal? Well, you know, if you put your arm on there, it might leave the whole imprint as a burn on your arm. Yeah, you don't have to have that problem no more. BRG makes those magnets. Hide those bad boys back behind the seat. Keep them out of the sun. Keep them out of the way. Don't worry about getting on those shoulder belts when you're getting into the car, man. But definitely, big time shout out BRG, Brian Garrett. You the man over there. I'm pretty sure we'll have some more coming to you. I think my dad was mentioning wanting to get some more stuff from you anyway. So, definitely, thanks for what you do. I got to pick on George Hoff. He says he can't drive ducks to water. I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all, man. And but I definitely don't blame you for not wanting to own a street S10, not my race car. I think you might want that. That's old Mo is nice. I don't mean to brag.
Hey man, we actually have a comment in here from David Hearn saying build a new car will very rarely ever be profitable. A lot of older cars, even needing updates, will increase value in value as time